Hey Thrive Club, this is your coach Kangas here. This is an exciting week for our club as we're electing our officers for the following year and basically setting the direction that we're going to be going next year. Last week you guys got an opportunity to nominate or be nominated, and this week you guys are preparing your speeches to give for our elections. Remember, each speech has to be 1 minute, no longer. And so I thought I'd give take this opportunity to give you a structure that you can use to develop your speech. So as you're thinking about your speech, I want you to think about 4 parts to it, okay? The first part's going to be your introduction. You're simply going to introduce yourself. Hello, my name is blank, all right? After that, I want you to think about a strength, right? Some sort of characteristic that you have, that you bring to the table, and that it lines up with the position that you are wanting to be elected for. So for example, maybe you're running for membership chair, and one of your strengths is that you love to get people excited about things. You like to get people engaged in what you're doing. So that would be a very good skill to have, and you want to highlight, because that's what you're going to have to do as a membership chair. You're going to have to get people excited about the club and engaged in what the club is doing. The third thing you want to do is you want to talk about how you've used that strength in the past. So anybody can say, one of my strengths is I'm funny, or one of my strengths is I'm engaging, or one of my strengths is I like to get things done. But nobody's going to believe you unless you can detail a specific time that you've actually used that strength. So you want to give a specific example of how you've used that strength in the past. So going back to my example of one of your strengths being that you can engage people. Maybe there's a specific time that you were in a classroom and you guys were working on a group project, and somebody was kind of got off in the distance and they weren't really engaged in the project, but you went out, you noticed that, and you went out and grabbed them and kind of started talking to them about this project, and all of a sudden they got engaged and they started coming and being part of that project. The third thing is your future, all right? You want to think about, if I'm elected to this officer position, what do I want to do in the future? How do I want to add value? How do I want to benefit the club in the future? So going back to my example as a membership chair, maybe in the future, if I'm elected as a membership chair, I'm going to increase the number of members that come on a regular basis to Thrive. So maybe right now we only have about 35 students coming. I want to increase that number by 10 people on average. So every club, around 45 people are going to be coming. Maybe you're running for community service chair, and one of the things you want to do in the future is you want to start a new project, right? You want to start a project of going out and feeding 1,000 people that are homeless. I don't know what it is, but think about how you want, what kind of things do you want to do in the future if you're elected to that position. Well, guys, I've kind of highlighted some of the structures I went through below. I'm going to give you guys just a real quick example of what this will look like all put together. So, for example, if I was running for a membership chair, this is what I would say. Hi, my name is Juan Kangas. One of my greatest strengths is I love to include people. I want to make sure that people are not feeling disconnected. And so at any time when there's people around, I'm making sure that everybody's engaged, everybody's kind of having a good time. And if they're not, I go out of my way to make sure that they feel involved and welcomed. This is a really good strength to have, because as membership chair, I'm going to make sure that people are engaged in the club and are having fun. But I'm also not going to be afraid to go out of my way to invite somebody to the club. One way I remember doing this is I was in a class once. We were working on a class project. And I remember one of the people that were supposed to be part of our team was kind of off, and they weren't really connecting with the other team members, so they really weren't participating. I remember going over and I just started talking to the person, and I got them engaged, and all of a sudden they got excited about the project we were working on, and they ended up contributing a lot to it. In the future, as membership chair, currently right now in our club, we only have about 25 people coming on a regular basis. I want to do more to increase that number by the end of the year. I want to make sure that on average, about 45 people are coming to our club. Not only that, but the people that are coming are engaged and they like the club and they're excited about it. Thank you very much.